Just to break the silence. Yes, we know this is an Alfred funeral. So you're going to swing your seat like this. If he wants dancing, if he wants laughter, no crying, then I'll be the first one to cry. So we have a party, we're going to have a party. I'm just going to make lots of noise. Why are you all sitting still? Hi, Shimmy. Love you, my dad. So I'm just going to take it. Come on. like what's that? We'll see. Just groove along with the music. emergency, jump out the window, okay? Just jump out the window. No panhaki, just jump out the window.
Oh, Auntie.
Yes, darling. The mic's not going in.
Hara mai ki mua Chief Hiruiti. Kore whā. No ngā puhi.
Kia ora tātou. Tēnei te mihi kia tātou. Tātou hui nei. Ai rungi te reo kaungo tēnei takoto nei. A reira huri no tō tātou whare. E te mana o tēnei whare, ngā mihi. Hei no. Koe he mai mātou I te ata nei, te wākainga, hauri kei te rangi. Tainga mai ki roto reo, whaawatea. No reira ngā mihi kia tātou. Tātou mātou I takahia mai te huarahi I tēnei ata. Ko mātou tēnei ko tā mai nei, ko te rā te kura, kuro o Kimiora. A tō mātou ki mua. A reira, ke huri ake ki te kaupapa ki raha nei, nā reira kia koe te alanga tira, hara mai mātou. Hara mai mātou, mau mai nei tēnei mea te aloha. Kia koe, me tō whānau. Ne ngā tamariki, ngā mokopuna o tō tama. Tira, tana kura, kuro te whānau apanu. Ara mai nei, ka nohi mai nei, te ahuatanga o ngā whānau. O roto te whānau apanu. Hei runga I tēnei kura, te ingoa tō tātou tīpuna apuni. O mātou tēnei. Kai ake anō ki ngā koanga reo me ngā kuia me ngā whakeke. Ki hara mai, o mātou nei taha. Ko tahi te pahi, pātakau ngā tamariki kai runga, me ngā kai ako. Area mihi ana ki te kai traiwa o tō mātou pahi tēnei ata. Ngā mihi kia koe, te tāni. Area tiraha mai. Hali te mea puto horere mai te kōrero, ko mohi o kē mātou. A koro o kē tahana kauenga tēnei tuahuatanga. Area tiraha mai oa. E te whanaunga. Ara nāku tēnei kōr nā tō tama, nā tīkei. Engari tika tāna, tō tāo nei taha, e te langa tira, I tō hokianga. Ara, te rā tāo hau, whānau moka, whānau Pickering. No te tai kāinga paku nei, roto o hokianga, ko manai. Nā kua anō tērā tāki ngā kore whā me ngā eruera. Nā reire, mihi ana. Mihi ana I rungi te ahuatanga o tēnei tātai heke o hau, no tērā tāo hau e te langati. A koe I taku mohe o kia koe, nui kē, taku mohe o ki o tamariki. E kā nui tēnā, o koe tēnā, o rāua, hei tira. O tike ni tu ahuatanga kia ako. Te tira hai. Hare kia rātou. pōhehe ki au e rā tana ki te whānau. Tā mai te kōrero kai konei ke kauta. E no ngā huatanga o tēnei wā. Ngā huatanga o tēnei wā. O ki te whare nei. A me taku rongo o hau nā mahi te tahonga langatahi. O makere mai wera pura o hau nā ki runga i o tamariki. Kaha mahi te tahonga langatahi. Anei tēnei, tauira tēnei. O ngā mahi tēnei o tamariki a Kimio. O ino mātou tēnei ko tāi mai. Mau mai nei, a te aroha, pāri ki hia nei ki o reke tēnei wā, me te ahuatanga o ngā mate a te wākainga, tēnei wā tonu. Arā, kai roto o te whānau hine te kahu, kai runga o wai o rore, tērā, kai roto o tauranga, o moana burua tērā, o na hononga ki te whānau apuni anoho. Rere nei ngā mate kai runga i a tātai. Ai tāpiritanga ki ngā mate kai runga i tō iwi tēnei wā, o te alo. Rere takoto mai. Ka nui wena me waihoake kona mo tēnei wā. Engari ke huriaki ke whai kuku anō, i tō whānau, i tō holanga tira. Kia koe rā, te whaia Jocelyn. Nei te iwi, o te wākainga puhara mai nei tēnei rang. E pehe rā ngā koro ki a koe. Ko riro tō hoa. Karau te moe o, ko koe rā nei te tuara, ko ia rā nei, hoi anō, ko kōrua. Wāku nei ki te ngā ia kōrua, ko kōrua tonu. Peti tonu kōrua ki a kōrua, ngā haerenga. Re mihi ana e tangi ana. O tō hō tēnei wā. Kai ake anō ki te whānau, ngā tamariki. Te miora. Kā huirau, kautau. E naka timata te whakahua haere o. Kā re kore ka mahu atu te tahi. A reira, o kōrua ngā konu kite i te wākainga. I roti te kura, nei o tauira, kōrua nā, anei ngā tauira, noho nei raro i a kōrua. Kaue mai nei te aroha ki a koutou katoa. Kai ake anō ki ngā moko puna, taku rongo, tini hoki a ngā moko puna. Haina hoki ake ki ngā koro ngā pakeke. Whakawhirina ki koutou ki te atua. Hei wā kai tahara mai, ka tino rongo koutou tēnei me te mokomoko, te moke. Te pauri te mamai. Engari mo tēnei wā, hui mai nei te iwi, kai te koai. Engari ke hoki atu tēnā, a tēnā, tōna kāinga, tērā rānei ki tōna kāinga. Ai reira koutou rongo ai tēnei mea te moke. Nā reira, whakawhirina ki atu ki te atua. Māne koutou e awhi, e alahi. Hoi anō tāku ki a tātai.
Potikei.
Nei ngā rangatira moaku. Hare huri noi a tātou. Aha ko te pauri o tēnei wā. Tātou tēnei noho tahi nei. I awhi nei te whānau pani i tēnei wā. Tēnei tū tauhau nei, wainga nui a koutou. Nā te tangata nei, i tō mai ai tātou, i tēnei whai. I tū tēnei hei kanohi mo te taha ki te kuro o te whānau apuna. Reira huri no. Ngā mihi kia tātou katoa. Kia koutou rā, kura, o tai te wā, ke tū tātou, ki te tuku waeta, ki te tangata nei. Ke niranga tiro o tātou. Me te mua hio, ahua rere ke anō mo te mea kai rō whare ke tātou. Ala tēnei, i te ahua tangata wā kai. Kai te pai. A reira, tū tātou ki te wai, e tū koutou.
Te huatahi, matatau mai ta whiti, te auri ko te auta, hine hao, nāna ko hine ka ewa, ko muturangi. Te kapua, nāna ko ahi au a kaukuta mai rako tuhiri rau. Moi a rongo mai huatahi heke. Hei, roriki kapu, tōgo te kutsi, tōgo te wera. Te Arawa Styles.
Oh well, folks, that's us. I was gonna just wrap it up. I was gonna wrap it up. After tiho no tātai hono. Kau tau rātahu ngā mate kia koutou. After tiho no tātai hono tātou. Tūnga ora tātou kia tātou. Huri no, puta no tō tātou whare. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Kia ora tātou, kaira.
You're trying to find you an exit.
Where's the oh, yeah. No, no, I'm all good.
You're on, TK.
Hey,
Are you on?
your turn, your turn.
Okay. Let's put the music on, right?
Yep, thanks.
Don't look at me, just keep talking, okay? Hold the line. This is the interlude music. You're supposed to have a party. Come on, Alfredo. This beautiful music happening. Hello, Auntie Stormy. As you can see, the programs are flying and right. Yep, so told you we needed to go to the event center. If you can find a piece of carpet, cupcake. Okay, somebody from Apaduri. I don't see people dancing in their seats though. What's going on? see our freeze. Aí fala só, eu falo assim, menopause player. And, oh, Auntie Namana, eu menopause. Okay, I'll open the window for me and you now. See. Hey, if I fall down the stairs, now I don't want to touch that. The stairs down. Oh, this is too. It's as far as it goes. Thank you, Mamuku. She's here. Sorry. She came up that way. No, where's Lady Winter? She's on the phone to you. Give a pen number. Listen to your auntie. Just walk through. Don't watch it. Say, lady with the baby, lady with the baby.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Kia ora tātou te whānau. Just for the whānau that can't get in, if you're outside, you can go to the wharekai and watch it on TV. We're going live stream. It's just health and safety, because if there is an emergency, that's our only exit.
You're going to jump out the window.
There's a lot of Websters, and we're not little. We're running straight out there.
Make sure we take the gear though. Make sure we take the gear first.
Insurance, auntie, insurance.
No, mine's a wing in the
Ka pai whānau, so if you can't get in, just make your way over to the wharekai and you can watch it on the big screen. Have a cup of tea, have a kai.
Have another cup of tea.
Bet you haven't done that one before, eh? Go to a service and have a feed.
Guys, is everybody here been outside? You can't fit in? Go over to the wharekai over there. Live stream it so long as nobody's going onto YouTube.
Turn them up, auntie.
So as you all know, this is an Alfred funeral, so we're going to do this. You know, I've got the smallest space, the biggest person's got the smallest space. Thanks. You skinny mini. Hi, Lena. I like that, Lena. Just come straight with the middle, you know. Just go, lady with the baby, that's what I did. I'm just fat, that's it. I still can't see people dancing in their seats. What's going on there? All the way at the back of my door. 13 minutes to showtime. You're supposed to dance.
Piper, Nathan's just going to ring the bell outside. Nathan.
10 minutes to showtime.
I'm gonna get killed off after this.
Everyone's gonna find me after this. People don't feel anything different of me.
Jussie, Jussie, you see meow? Yeah. I did it. Africa, meow. We know we meow when you go meow. So we know what the meow is.
those who just tuned out, if you're outside, you can actually go into the wharekai and watch it live streaming. Alright? It's a health and safety issue. And like TK said, us Websters are very skinny people. Are you right up there?
Take it off.
Thank you, my darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, whakamoimiti will commence in 5 minutes.
Are you both going to close the door up the top of this tuning up here? Please, my darlings. Otherwise, you're going to start charging them $25 to get in. It's for our Karuba fund.
Okay. Just ask, if you haven't got a seat up there, you've got to come down.
My darlings, if you haven't got a seat at the top there, can you please come down? Because we've got babies for the adults to have a seat. It's an Osh thing.
They ain't got a seat, get out.
Right? If the babies are up in the seat, please let the adults sit down on the seat.
Don't hang over the railing.
Don't hang over the rail, otherwise if you fall, I will cry and cry and cry for days. And I'll get in trouble from the police.
We don't want you going with koro.
Alright, all standing up, you've got to come down the bottom. I don't know. You want standing up, please?
Yellow hoodie, puma, koutou ma, come downstairs.
Thank you, TK. I don't want to look like the evil auntie. Yeah, Nelly. Oh, hang on, Auntie Lita's going to get the mic. Okay, I'm going to sing a song just
no, they
before we
don't
start
sing.
the service, okay? And I heard that this is one of Alfred's favourites. One of them.
Nathan, tell him to start ringing the bell.
Sing along. And don't look at me because I'm not a movie.
Stand up front.
Sunshine brings a precious thing. And we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song we love to sing. Every time we hear the music, come on, now don't you know
We're this love together. We're in this love together. We're in this love together. We're in this love together.
Isn't he gorgeous? It's like his nanny Chrissy. He taught me how to sing. It's taught what?
We're in this love together. We're in this love together.
Okay, we're going to go into formalities now. Kia ora now.
They just finished swinging the bell.
Katariki tere.
O te rā tēnā tātai. Tēnā tātai rārunga pūkinga o tō tātai nei rā whakahirehira ko tēnei. O te rā tātai kua tau nei I roto I tō tātai nei tūpuna. O tēnei o tō tātai nei hāhi. Nei rā te mihi kia tātai. Nei rā te mihi kia tātai. O te rā ki tō tātai nei pāpai tiraha mai ki wanganui a tātou I tēnei o tō tātai nei ata. O te rā kia koutou se pānau. Nei rā te mihi kia koutou puti mai, take mai, hara mai. Hara mai ki runga I tōna reo karanga. Hara mai ki runga I tōna ake moimoia kia noho pēnei ai I tōna hari me tōna kua. Nā reira I runga I tēnei, nei rā te mihi ki te whānau, ki ona mokopuna, ki ona tamariki o te rā, ki ona tuahine tuakana, tōna huaranga tira hoki. Nei rā te mihi ki a tātou. Ki o tātou nei minita te rānei, te taho te mihi nei o me ki, o te taha o te rātana, tētahi taha ona e whakanui ana I aia. Nā reira, koina te tino pūteke o tōna hiahia, kia pēnei ai tātou. Nō reira, I runga I tēnā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, o te rā tēnā tātou katoa. Ka huri te rākau ki o tātou nei minita o te ata nei, nō reira, koutou mā, I aku rangatira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, o te rā tēnā tātou.
Following on from the blessings and the anointing of the Wairua tapu of last night, whakamoimiti, Ka kawe i a tātou i tēnei rā tū. Mātū. But let the wairua carry us again for today's formalities. And in saying that, ka tuku atu te waiata, te whakatūperatanga i ngā mokopuna ngā tamariki who did a wonderful job and singing our hymn last night, but let's do it again today. Kaya koutou ngā tamariki ngā mokopuna nawe i tū. Tau poko ngā reo, pere nara tēnā koe. Ngā reo pe wainunu i a tātou. Kia tōtoro tēnā koe. Kia pāsta tata. Te rangati reo tō tātou whare, tēnei rā, e mihiana. E mihiana ki o koutou ngā mōrehu, ngā iwi katoa, ngā hāhi katoa, ngā mana katoa. A mātā waka katoa koe ke mai ki kai tēnei rangi whakahirahira. Ara noi whakanui i aia, a tēnei e takoto mai nei, e rei ki whakakotahi roto i te whakamoemiti, te whakakotahi roto i te wairua aroha, wetahia i mo i tā tātou whakamoemiti tēnei rā. We're all in this life together. Koe ana kōrero te waiata nei. E nere ko tēnei aroha, e kuhe me kore tāi a te wete e te tangata. Ko te aroha nui o iho whamano. E reira haere mai tātou i roto i te kōriatanga o iho whamano. Mā te wairua no tātou e kaue. He wairua Māori tēnei ka kaue i a tātou. He wairua, we don't know what's going to happen after this, but let it happen anyway. E nere ko te mea nui, ke hiko i tātou i roto i te hiko i a te morehu, i ai i nā pōra. Haere nei tātou i runa i te whakapono, te tumanga ko me te aroha, ko te mea nui, ko te aroha e kaue i a tātou i tēnei rā. We're in this one together i tēri. Korera tēnā tātou i roto i enei kupu. I don't want to insult your intelligence, but if you read over here, you can read. Ko tō tātou himene he honore.
Check 1, 2. Ahoi anō, kai nā pau o te hāhi, a tēnei ka mihi atu ki a koutou. Koutou, ko hira, ko hiria mai te māramatana ki runa i a tātou. Tātau i tēnei rangi nei, ngā rangi tata nei, nā reira ka nui te mihi ki a koutou. Tai noa atu rā ki a koutou. Koutou, ko takahia mai te mato te whenua. Koutou mai tawhiti, koutou mai tata tēnei ka mihi atu ki a koutou katoa. Muia te tangata, muia te wharikarakia nei. Ngā tangata, e rongo ana i te aroha o tō mātou pāpā e takoto ake nei. Kui mā, koro mā, pākeke mā, tamariki mā, tātou e pai nei, tēnei ka mihi atu ki a tātou katoa. A hoi anō, a iruna i tēnā, a ko te tikanga, kua whakaritea mai he ripene mō nā pō ka whakaata nei. But too much to our Pākehā technology, kare e nei Māori te tino mōhi o te traiwa i e nā mihini. A hoi anō, kai te pai, ka haere tonu nā kōrero. Nā reira, ka waiho ake, mā wakutaina, katoa, anei. I'll leave it for my three brothers to talk about. Then ka tahi ka hoki mai ki au te whakakōpani i nā kōrero. Nā reira, koutou kari i te mōhio, toko rima mātou, engari toko whā, i konei tēnei rangi nei. We'll get to that story later on if you're lucky enough. If not, kei te pai, if you know, you know. I runga I tēnā, just want to introduce you all to our big little brother, Tangi.
Oh, kia ora whānau. Well, anyways, I don't know, I was going to say something this morning. Kimmy just told me. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'll say this. In Dad's last week, it's probably the first time I've ever heard him say he's proud of us. He's never really, that was just him. He was always negative towards us. Anything, in a nice way, Yeah, so that was Dad. So anything good we do, see like this, jamming the keyboard or whatever, I'm at my gigs. How were we, Dad? You know you fellas, we stink. First thing you'll do. So whatever success we do, that was dumb. But the reason for that, e te whānau, because Dad was all about balance. Anything positive we do, there's always got to be a balance. Always got to be a negative, okay? So Dad was always the first one to be the negative. But when Dad said he was proud of us, that blew me away, because I never heard that before. But when Dad met Mum, when he met Mum, yes, Mother, it's a story he told me. When he met Mum, he met this beautiful te whānau apa nui, tūhoi lady. And then he was like, yeah. But when Mum was always around her cousins, kōrero I roto I te reo Māori. Or Dad couldn't speak any Māori. And when he heard Mum kōrero Māori to her cousins, he was like, yeah, me. That's cool. I want my kids to learn that. And when Dad saw Mum and Mātātua ki Rotorua doing her haka boogies, he was like, holy hecka, I want my kids to do that. And then when Dad was hearty into his drinking, as we all know, he was at Towers, and he was good mates with the Cairo band. Uncle Mickey, Richard Anaru, Uncle Rob, and Ernie. And those were his close mates. And when he saw his bros jamming, especially after they got on the piss, afterwards, after Towers, and he went, I want my kids to learn how to play an instrument. And because all Māoris, we all play guitar. Everyone here, we knows how to play guitar. And he said, how do I get my kids to learn an instrument? And the first thing they said was, learn the piano. So all of us, we learned piano, learned how to read at the age of 5. Kimmy was on the organ, James keyboard, and me and Talitha, we learned piano by our awesome music teacher, Doreen Garrett. So from there, when I heard Dad I'm proud of yous because we've pretty much mastered all three, I reckon. Kia ora, pane kiritanga, James and Talitha, kapa haka, back to back, and myself with the music. So that's all I have to say. Kia ora whānau.
Not bad for someone who didn't have anything to say.
It all came down, mate.
Hi everyone. Hang on. Kia ora tātou. Oh, hang on, it's stuck. Hi. If you don't know who I am, why are you here? Pono. If you don't know who I am, I'm number 3 of Alfred. Well, I have third child syndrome. I'm Alfred and Jocelyn's only girl. So, of course, I am the boss. I am the māngai of our whānau. And I do tell them what to do. They try and put a tough exterior at their whānau, but they're really, I mentioned it last night about my nephew, they're lions with manawas like kittens, because they really are. If you were here last night, I pretty much told you everything. Like, I don't want to repeat it, but all I have to say is that tautoko ai ngā kōrero o TK. We've had a pretty cool upbringing now that we're in this part of our lives. You know, this is a big life-changing moment for all of us. And like Dad said, don't be sad, you be happy for me. And we have to keep relaying that message in our minds, because that's what Dad wanted for all of us, not just us as a whānau, but for everyone out there, because Dad was always about the positive vibes. But like TK said, there were those moments there where, Dad told us how it was. Like, we used to have a band. We have a band. Actually, back at school called Deadly Alliance. That's where this whole gigging life started. No, it started further. But the main part for our whānau and joining together as band was Deadly Alliance. Every gig, I dreaded seeing him, because it was just a... And he had this this ahua, and if I saw it, I'd be like, oi, I'll go that way. Hey, leader, hey. What was it? You saw off? And funny, the mokopunas get that now. They were getting that kind of treatment. But theirs was on a little bit of a easier level than ours as kids. But growing up, like TK said, music was a part of our life. Kapahaka was a part of our life. And when we infuse the two together, we've been able to create some pretty magical sounds. And that's all due to Mum and Dad and their vision for us. We talk about balance. Dad was always about the balance in life. And for us, we've just had the Raukura, we had the secondary school nationals just recently. And this is our balance for us as a whānau. Well, for me personally, because we've been sitting up there for so long. This was the reality check here for me, myself. I'm speaking on my own behalf. But, what's a story? Okay. So when I was in sixth form, what's that, year 12 for you kiddies? Because I had a boyfriend at a young age. Dad told me all the way through, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend. Did I listen? Cow. Because over there's my beautiful darling who's been my po through this entire thing over here. Not the big po in the front. The little one. Yeah, so it's been, so we've been together for a long time. And Dad said to me, he goes, in sixth form, leading into seventh form, You make sure you're going to university next year. The only way you don't go to university is if you fall pregnant. Well, guess what? I was carrying my boy towards the last part of, so hey, just so you know, I finished school, okay? I passed my stuff. All right, before we continue. But I was carrying through high school. Then we had a Makiha reunion. Oh, you know when people know you're pregnant, but you don't want to know you're pregnant? Well, it was one of those ones. And all my nannies and hey, how long? I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. And then even the brothers, oh, just, you know, no. Anyway, Boxing Day, we were still kind of in our Makiha reunion down at Matatsu Marae. Oh, James over here goes, "Here, sis, it's a pregnancy test." I went, oh, okay. So I went back home, had the test, came out positive as. And then so I rang Dad at the marae, and I think I might have been talking to Mum. I'm not too sure how to. No, it was Dad. Bling bling. Hi, Dad. Where are you? I'm at May Road. I'm pregnant. Oh, and he was like, "Excuse my language, e te whare, get your fucking ass down here now." Hey, I know, I says, whakarongo. So we made our way down to the marae, and I made him walk in before me. You go. I was just shivering because the tone in his voice just was that disappointment. And then when I got inside the whare, he walked in first and he was trembling at the knees. I was trembling at the knees and I was hormonal. And then I walked into the whare, and then when I finally got to see him, he had this ahua on him. But when I sort of bowed my head down to say, "Oh, sorry, Dad," he just goes, "It's all right, my girl. It's all right." Oh, man, it was like a big weight that just lifted off my shoulders. And it kind of was like that for the 5 pregnancy following that. It's okay, my girl. Anyway, in Dad's last week, the whole week has just been pretty amazing in terms of the different tohu he's been giving me on my own while I've been here. And our little moment that we had together while we were still able to communicate and kōrero to each other, I whispered into his ear, I says, "Dad, I'm so sorry I didn't go to university." And we just sat there cracking up, laughing and crying. And then he goes, "It's okay, my girl. I got 6 beautiful mokos." So I suppose I done something right. But, you know, gonna miss this fella so much. You know, he's lived a mean life. And everybody here, this is what it is. Te aroha. I just feel it all day, every day. If I don't see you or I barge past you, please don't get feelings. Because there are moments there where I just need to be on my own. Yeah, because it's a little bit taumaha. But don't be sad. Be happy. Be happy. Love you all, whānau. E korea I te kuputaku aroha mō koutou. You know, I really, really do appreciate you fellas. And yeah, cheer.
Pregnancy test was the only test you ever passed, boy. Well, talking about tests, kia ora te whānau. So let's carry on with that. So we're talking about tests. Well, I'll tell you what, there was a couple of things that my tuakana and I, we failed a couple of tests. And our consequence was to run the marathon. And the old man will go, "Hey, you get up there and you're going to run 42.2 Ks, run the lake, Barakard." You get your asses out there and you're running that road. Why? So you can learn about resilience. This fella down here, he's pretty out the gate thinking. And some of you will know that. Look at his service, yeah? And his whole thing. The way he thought was just way out the box. And we're lucky to be to have him as our role model, as our leader, and as our backbone. But talking about, TK was talking about he didn't know the reo. I think he's an undercover brother, you know. But his thing was to encourage us to learn the reo. And when those that didn't know the reo will go up to him and go, "Yeah, can't you speak Māori au matua?" He used to go, "Hey, who's holding up the language? You or I? Because only you speak in your family." But there's about 1 out of 5 that doesn't in mine. But hey, I didn't even add the mokos. Yeah, but he just did that because he didn't, you know, and talking about balance for the old man. All the journeys and everything, the life's lessons, and there was some of the things that he had said. Oh, yeah, here's one. He was in hospital, and they were asking him, you know, because you got to tell the doctor your pain and what sickness is, what you're feeling, so they can come up with a medical plan for you. They go, "Mr. Webster, 1 to 10. 10, that means you're in so much pain. Okay, what number is it?" He goes, "When I hear your voice, nurse, it's a 10. And then mum gives him a little twack. Yeah. Gives him a little twack and goes, "Hey, that's rude." Does a little Kiwi laugh. You know, and just everything. So he has everything, like his mental capacity is like no other that we've seen. It was quite out of it. So yes, some of you's got a phone call from him in his last moments. He goes, "Can I call such and such?" Yeah. Next minute rings up. "Hey, Joe, my cuz, how you doing?" "Yeah. Just to let you know, I don't have long to live, but all I want to say is I love you." And he does the spiel to them. And then he hangs up, and then he goes, "That's out of it here, boy. I'm telling everyone I'm going to die." And I just says, "Well, you're always out the gate. Yeah, you're on." But I think it was for his own preparation, for himself to accept what was coming. And as he got on, one of his other goals was to meet all his mokos. And if you know that in Waikato Hospital, they've got this big policy. You have to be over 16, 1 visitor per person. And yeah, but he got all 20 of us in that room. Yeah, because he has a way, that boy. And there was one of his moments, and to see his tuarua, they flew all the way from Te Atarangi to flown over from Australia. And that was his last moment to see her. That was his goal. And when she arrived straight from the airport and he was reaching out to her, we captured that moment. And then after that, then he went to a deep sleep. You know, so he had everything he wanted to do. But yeah, just to finish it off, this is what he said. "My mokos, when you're asleep and your forehead is wet, Koro had a wet dream." Kia ora te whānau.
Tamariki mā, don't you fellas pay attention, please? Kia ora tātou. Yeah, so Dad had a warped sense of humour, and if you really knew him, you got a bit of a taste of that sense of humour from him. But the major thing for Dad is making sure that those relationships were strong with everybody, and this is the fruits of those relationships today. The amount of people that have come to pay those respects to him, whether they were good relationships or bad relationships, it was still a relationship. So I wanted to take this time to acknowledge all of the people he went to school with. Recently, he lost one of his brothers from school, Willie Rapana, and he really wanted to get there. But yeah, we sort of put the foot down and said, "Nah, you're not going there." So yeah, but oh well, they're both up there probably partying at the moment.
Also want to acknowledge all of his friends and workmates from Waipa Sawmill. That was a big part of his life. The Waipa Village. Waipa Flats. I'm one of those cowboys. Grew up at the Waipa Flats. So I want to acknowledge all of you guys that have come here today as well. Want to acknowledge all of his friends that he met in the towers. Hope, you fellas didn't get up to anything. Nah. But, the Tudor Towers, right down to the towers that Mike Sykes had as well. So, he made a lot of friends everywhere. And then we come into our involvement with our music side, our te reo Māori side, and also our kapahaka side. He had a strong affiliation with mum's side, Mātātua Marae, and all of our whānau from Mātātua Marae. He also had a strong affiliation with his marae down at Wahiao, Tūhaurangi, even though the story that I want to tell you all is that when we were born, or when I was born, and what TK said about he wanted us to learn te reo Māori, he went and asked his auntie Taki. And Auntie Taki said at the time, nah, you send them to their tūhoi side, they'll learn their reo from that side. And so he sent us down to Mātātua Marae, and it was Mātātua Marae that gave us our reo and our Māoritanga. But in saying that, when he leaves here, he's going back to Nani Taki, where she's buried. So, it's really fitting that we raise her and also acknowledge our Clark whānau. Speaking about whānau, he's got a lot of whānau sitting in the room. Our Mākiha whānau. If you don't know the Mākiha whānau, well, you do now, because they're sitting next to you. Yeah, and, we've got the Webster whānau that have travelled from all over the country, from Te Tai-Tokerau all the way down to Pōneke, down to Queenstown, have all been here. We also want to acknowledge our Tai-Tokerau side. This morning we heard Iruiti acknowledge our whānau from up there, but also want to... Iruiti, what's that song that they sing about the mokas, bro? Nah, if you know, you know. But just want to acknowledge all of our whānau and all of our whakapapa connections that Dad connects us to. And we want to make sure that those connections are never lost. Yeah, and those relationships are never lost as well. So ka nui te mihi kia koutou. Finally, I want to acknowledge Dad's sisters that are here. Auntie Lynette, Auntie Murray, Auntie Carmena, and also our Auntie Janet. And Auntie Janet on the phone. So James spoke about him giving people phone calls, and his sisters, his siblings was one of the first phone calls that he had. And Auntie Janet had organised the trip to go over to Australia, and he didn't want to tell Auntie until she had flown out that he was sick. But we made him tell her. So, and then I went around to sit with Auntie Janet, and we had a cup of tea. And we said to Auntie, you carry on with your trip, go over to our cousin, Queenie, and all of the whānau over in Australia. So this is an acknowledgement to all of them. But we remember when Dad passed away, we remembered all of those people that he would be hooking up with. It was a bit of a drama when he did die, and a drama not from him, but just from the elements. He had an earthquake happen down in Pōneke on the same day. In Hamilton, he had a big sunny day, which was really hot. Then the rain came, and then the lightning came, then the thunder came, and then it just hosed down with rain, and then it becomes sunny again. And then my wife Ata sent me a photo from down in Omaio, a picture of Whakaari, and that was erupting. Hekama. Talk about a grand entrance. But the question we were asking was, are the gods kicking you out already? Or have you got to the door and you're pounding at the door and they're not letting you in? You know, our dad's warped sense of humour was when you put me in my coffin, you make sure you put some handles in there with me. I'll carry myself to the hole. So he's got handles and he's holding on to them inside his casket. Yep. He also said, he also would say to us as kids, if ever you become a pilot, I know you'll be driving because the plane will be coming in backwards and landing backwards at the airport. It was those types of things that he would joke around with us. We had a lot of a lot of teachings. I want to call it teachings instead of negativity. It was teachings because when we look back on it now, all of those teachings are what we're teaching our kids. But three things that he always would say to us was trust, respect, and honesty. Yep. If you're honest with someone, you're going to trust them. If you trust them, then you'll respect them. And that was always our motto as a whānau. Trust, honesty, and respect. He drummed that into us physically. He drummed that into us. He drummed that into us, but it instilled the foundation of our whānau today. He also would say to us, whānau comes first. Whānau always comes first. Hence why whenever we move, we always move as a whānau. Because e ai ki te kōrero, whakapūpūtia nā rākau kia kore ai e whati. When you bundle together a lot of twigs, they will never break. But if you have one twig, it'll break. It's like that saying, united we stand, divided we fall. And that's how we are as a whānau. So, Dad, we all love you. We all love the things that you made us experience, even though we didn't want to experience them, but we still done it. But because of those experiences, now we're able to feed our kids. Some awesome things that we've done in our lifetime is, as a whole whānau, we've travelled to America twice. Once for his 58th birthday, and then his second one, we went to Las Vegas for his 60th birthday. He tried to get Mum to go for her 60th birthday, but instead they got married. Yep. So, whenā nā kōrero e huama, I think all of us will have a memory of Dad. All of us will know that Dad was an awesome person, and he was somebody that would always want us to be happy. Hence the reason why when we asked him about his tangihana, he said, take me home, and then after that, I want to go to Tata's church. And so the first thing we said was, hey, but you're rātana. And then he said, nah. And then Tata said, no, this is your fella's whare. This is our whare. So tēnā koe, te rangatira. Ko koe tēnā rangi tāmiro nei i a tātou. Nā tangata koto ki roto i tēnei tō whare. Tō tātou whare, nā reira ka nui te mihi kia koe o te rā tō whānau. Dad also wanted to make sure that everyone was included in everything we done for the Tangi in one little way. And the only way that we could get through that was that we allow for everybody to talk, everybody to come when they want to come, and for everybody to be happy and celebrate him, not mourn him. Hence the reason why when you came over the last couple of days, we've had the band going, we've had the music going, we've had everything going, and people are just coming and going. We've had the kitchen going as well. People are going in and out of the kitchen. So it's been a big celebration for Dad, exactly how he was as a person. The fish went this way in the river, Alfred was going the other way. Yeah, and that's how he's brought us up as well. So, few little gems for you guys. Trust, respect, and honesty. That's all we ask that you treat everybody with. That's all we ask that you treat each other with. And look after your whānau. Whānau always comes first. Ka nui te mihi kia koutou, ko tau mai tēnei rangi nei. Tēnei ka mihi atu kia tātou, ki raro i te tūnui tō tātou whare. Whakakotahi nei i a tātou, e whakamahana nei i a tātou. Nā reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. He wai.
check, 1, 2, checking. Is this working? Kia ora. Okay. Well, it certainly is a privilege to be part of this tangihana. Don't worry, James, I'll get those microphones blessed and probably throw them away, get some new ones. Get some new ones, bro. Just like to acknowledge the ministers that are here. Certainly enjoyed last night's koho from Te Taipa here. And he spoke about love, faith and hope, or faith, hope and love. And certainly want to carry on from that. My association with Alfred goes back a while. We share the same girlfriend. Yeah, her name was Lady Di for dialysis. We were on the same journey, and one of the many occasions that I had the privilege of being with him was being at his house, and I was invited for a cup of tea for lunch, and the family just amazed me how they respected their dad. He sat at his place. He never got up. They brought him his kai, his cup of tea, his whatever he wanted, lemonade, and I was going, this is amazing. He doesn't even have to open his mouth, and there all this kai's coming out. It must be his birthday or something. Then he said, come on, let's go into the lounge. And he sits there on his lazy boy. He says, okay, we're going to have a concert. And I'm thinking, a concert? And all his kids come out and his mokos. And like TK says, you know, after a song, I don't that stop, do it again. And I'm thinking, wow. And I said, this man is like my koro, you know, just the same way. Discipline, everything was dumb, everything didn't go to. I understand what you mean, TK. And I was attracted to this man because of his humor. And I would swear that he comes from the island of Aitutaki. I'm honored to be sitting between these two apostles here. I feel almost holy. But
Holy hiccup.
Holy hecka, holy Moses. Anyway, I thought about trying to find a Bible text that would suit his character. So I looked up Bob Marley songs. But I couldn't find anything, but I sort of found a scripture that sounds, if you put a Bob Marley tune to it, it sounds like a Bob Marley song. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down. Can you hear the vibe? Can you hear the... Can we have some music? A time to break down and a time to build up. Yeah, come on, TK. Oh. That don't sound like reggae. I reckon you better come to church, TK, and learn how to play that thing. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Oh, by the way, Kimmy, your dad told me that. He says, yeah, I told the boys to put some handles in my coffin, but I told Kimmy not to do it because he'll just put the handles in and no screws to hold it. So I just thought I'd let you know that part of the story. Yeah. So I hope Jameis, he said, no, I'll get Jameis to do it. But we shared many stories, and I found that he was, there were only a few men in my life that I respected, and he was it was my grandfather who brought me up and taught me everything I know. And then there were two or three other men in my life that had such an influence, and Alfred was one of them. When he called me, because we had and I think Josh knew this, we were texting each other morning and night. And while he was in hospital, I'd text him and I'd send a karakia or a verse for him. And he would say to me, "Paul Maria, sir, have a good sleep." And I've got a lot of these texts, and I'd reply, "You have a good rest, and don't be too cheeky with your nurses." And we'd go on like that, back and forth, until just recently, I never received my last text from him when I said to him, "Good night, have a good sleep," and there was no reply. And I knew that there was something wrong. And then, about a day later, I get a text from him saying, sorry, I had a good sleep." And I said, "Oh, I was worried about you." He goes, "Oh, so was I." I said, "Fella." And then the texts stopped. And I knew that he was on his way. But then I get a phone call, a face-to-face call. And I went, "Oh, yeah." And he asked me, and we talked about coming here so that he could have this party. And I said, "Sure, this is your house as much as it is our house." So on behalf of my family and my church, we are so grateful that we're able to put this place, have this place open for Alfred, for your family, and for all of you to come and be part of his celebration. I'm the pastor of this church, but he was like a pastor to me. You know, he'd pass me the butter, pass me the bread. I threw my sermon out when I was sitting here listening last night. I'll forget about preaching that. But I just want to say that he had the characteristics of a good man. There is one chapter I want to share with you, but I thought, no, it's, and I thought, yeah, why not? And it's found, if you just bring our service to a close, because it's almost lunchtime. And I think Taipo sort of needs his cake.
Korera kia tau, kia tātou, kia tātou.
For that, I'll preach my whole hour sermon now. He said to me last night when he got up to do his koha, he says, "Oh, I almost said good morning to everybody." I said, "Just as long as you don't say, welcome to Tāmaki Tours." Anyway, that's something else. You know if you know. Now, where did I put that Bible text? Right here. Sorry, give me a second. Here we go. Sorry. 13. Okay. Just to close, I won't say anything more after this, because I think we heard his testimony. We've heard everything, good and bad. Actually, good, bad, and ugly, all came out, and we've all enjoyed ourselves. He's achieved what he wanted, and that's for us to be happy. Actually, there's some words I've heard last night, things like tequila. I said, "What's a tequila?" And my wife said to me, "What's do the rumba?" I said, "I have no idea." He was a man of many talents. But people were talking about all these different, using different words, rum, things I've never heard before. Rum, tequila, and I knew there's one thing that Alfred said to me. He used to wonder, how come he's inviting me to his family dues? He says, "Because you help Mr. Stupid stay away." He referred to his whole life as being stupid, Mr. Stupid. And he says, "I just pray and hope that Mr. Stupid would not turn up." And he would look at his life like that. And he realized that some of the things he might have done in the past were a little bit stupid. He admitted it himself to me. And he says, "Now that I go to all these dues, I just hope that Mr. Stupid doesn't turn up." That's the character of the man he was. And so here's the text. And it talks about him, I think. Auntie Joss can correct us. And 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it says, "Love suffers long." It goes on, typers caught it all last night. "Love suffers long and is kind." And that's him. He suffered a lot. He didn't just get here yesterday. He went through a lot of pain. He suffered a lot. But love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. And that's exactly how he is. He's humble. He doesn't puff himself up. He doesn't make all the noise. Love is not provoked. Love thinks no evil. Love does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. Love bears all things. Look at his children. Love believes all things, hopes all things. Love endures all things. Love never fails. And then it finishes, verse 13. "And now abide faith, hope, and love. These three, but the greatest of these is love." So, all I can say to you this morning, that when you leave this place, know that you've come and you've been loved. be loved by this man and his family. So may God bless you and keep you all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Tēnā koe e te pata. I tēnei wā, koe ki te haora, kia kawea ki tō tātou papa. Uncle, we've come to your final haerenga. So one more for the road. We'll take you to the mall for lunch first. Kao. I mui te hiki tō tātou papa. We might have a jam of a waiata while everybody makes their way out there. It'll make it easier for us to move on. Right?
Kia ora tātou. Just because of the magnitude and the tokomahona, because of heaps of people here, we just want to ask everyone to make their way straight up to the urupa, which is out at Peka. Only because Dad's going on a bit of a journey before he goes up there. Sweet. Koena noio. So just go straight up to the urupa if you're going to come to the urupa. If not, go to pai. Dad never wanted to be a burden on anyone. Me haere koutou ki te mahi I o koutou mahi I konei koutou koe nā te mea nui. Ka nui te aroha ki a tātou. Kia ora koutou.
As we're making our way out, everyone's making their way outside before Alfred's coming out. I've been asked to sing a song to take him out, which I sent it to his Facebook page. So just be with me. This is for Josie, for Alfred, and for Whakaino. on she's coming. And so is Christmas.